What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've got right here to the left the 15-inch M4 MacBook Air, and to the right the 15-inch M3 MacBook Air, and I want to talk about both of these computing devices as I recently picked up the M4 MacBook Air, and it's going to be replacing my M3 MacBook Air. And you may ask right off the bat, well, why are you upgrading from M3 to M4? And here's the thing. I review tech and I talk about the latest tech and I get to implement them into my workflow. So that's why I am upgrading. But I would like to say that there is no need to pick up an M4 if you have an M3 MacBook Air or even an M2 MacBook Air. And I'll talk about other chipsets as well later in the video. But let's talk about the differences we get with the M4 right here on the left. First thing you see, obviously, is the color. And while it is a little noticeable in video, it's much more noticeable in person. But this is the sky blue, and it really does have a blue tint to it. Some people are calling this silver, but you really have to put them side by side to see that this is truly a sky blue color. Like, it's different than the silver. But other than that, the main thing here is the M4 chip. That's the main upgrade. Now, Apple does say that the 10-core CPU, which is up 2 cores from the M3, which is 8-core, is up to twice as fast as the M1 MacBook Air. But obviously, the difference between these two are going to be less apparent, and I do stand by that, using them kind of side by side and just doing my daily tasks and normal things on both of them, from browsing the web, using Notion, watching YouTube videos, scripting, researching, Final Cut Pro editing. They essentially perform the same. Export speeds on M4 Mac are ever so slightly faster, but it's not going to impact the way I use my MacBook. It's not going to make a huge life difference. So I wanted to put that out there. But obviously, if you have like an M1 MacBook Air or even Intel MacBooks, or you just want to get into the MacBook Apple ecosystem, then yes, this is going to be a great computing device. Now, the battery, what I've noticed, lasts just a slight bit longer, a tad bit longer than M3. And M3 was already super good. Like, this was lasting me 2-3 days of charge on a single charge without needing to charge it. And that's me taking it out on the go and using it all day for Final Cut Pro. This has been about the same, just a tad bit longer, like maybe 10-15 minutes longer. This is not going to make a huge difference because the battery life was already great. Again, this is my experience, and over time we'll see how well the M4 MacBook Air battery does perform. Now, there are some other notable changes. There is a new camera that comes with center stage, the front-facing camera here on the MacBook Air, versus the MacBook Air on the M3, which doesn't have center stage. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really use it too often. Like, I'm not FaceTiming on my MacBook Air as often, but it's nice to know that there is center stage. Now, a huge complaint with the M3 MacBook Air was it has support for up to 2 external displays with the lid closed, just like this. Now, I only have one display right here, a 32-inch 4K Samsung M8 monitor. I've been using it since 2022. It's been phenomenal, and I can't recommend it enough. But this is how you would use it. And the upgrade here with the M4 is now you have that support for 2 external displays, but now you can use this when the lid is open. So that is a huge plus. Now, I did talk about the new sky blue color, and then there is a new mute button right here. It has a slash going through it, and it makes just a very slight difference. And honestly, I think it's better than this previous one, just not having a slash. Like, you know that's a mute button. You got used to it with the M3, but just having that new kind of icon there is a plus for me. Now, also do keep in mind, the new M4 MacBook Air is $100 cheaper than its predecessor when that launched. And that's a plus because you're getting these good, decent upgrades for a cheaper price. I mean, this is priced at like $11.99 starting, whereas the M3 was $12.99. Same goes for the 13-inch. Starts at $9.99 for M4, but the M3 was $10.99, so it was a little bit more expensive. Granted, right now, if you go to the Apple Store, you can't pick up M3 or M2. It's only M4, but I guess that's a plus. If you do want to pick up a renewed, refurbished M3, M2, that's, by all means, go right ahead. But between these two, I mean, there's really, on a day-to-day basis, a very, very, not really noticeable change, I'll put it that way, or noticeable difference. Now, both devices, like I said, everything I've thrown at it, everything I do on a daily, emailing, watching YouTube videos, Final Cut Pro editing, browsing the web, updating my Notion page that kind of runs my business, they've both tackled with ease, no issues whatsoever, no overheating. So far on the M4, I've had no overheating in the past year with the M3, so that is a plus. And there is no fan, so if it does start to overheat, it's going to slow down, so that you just got to keep that in mind when you are picking up a MacBook Air. Now, I see a lot of people talking about, oh, you know, MacBook Air is great for just like the basics and things like that. Honestly, I think that the MacBook Air, and I know it is because of my experience, can get you running with starting to make content. If you want to start making content, you don't want to go for MacBook Pro, this is perfect. I've been doing it, and you know, my editing stream is not too bad. I've been doing it with both. Now I'm transferring everything over to the M4, so I'll be continuing with that moving forward. But the thing is, if you want to start making content, it's great. My editing is 2 to 3 streams with 1080p footage. Yes, I still edit in 1080p, and I can do 4K, but it's just not something I'm looking into right now. But hopefully in the near future, I will be doing that when I feel like the time is right. I've gotten some negative feedback because of that, but you know, that's just right now. I'm continuing with 1080p footage, full 2 to 3 streams, some transitions and effects here and there, but it doesn't really clog down Final Cut Pro. It doesn't make it stutter or buffer or wait or anything like that. So that's a good plus for both of these computing devices. And these are my main. The M3 and now the M4 MacBook Air is my main computing device for MTG Productions and for Tesla Volt and for my other channels. I do use the M4 Mac Mini to make my Pokemon content because a lot of it's being done with the screen recording and things like that, and when I'm at home in my studio. But other than that, like when I'm out on the go, this is it, my M4 MacBook Air. If I need to do work, this is what I'm bringing with me. Now, there is a difference in the storage, or more so the unified memory. So when M3 MacBook Air first came out, it came equipped with 8 gigs of unified memory. Later in the year, sometime around October, Apple did update their base MacBook Airs to all include 16 gigs of unified memory. That's going to help with support with Apple Intelligence. But this one, M4, comes equipped with base 16 gigs of unified memory. So I have both the 8, and now I upgraded to 16 gigs, which is a plus. They both have 512 gigs of storage, which for me is, I'll be honest, it's not enough, but it's also enough at the same time. It's way better than 256 gigs. I used 256 gigs before. It did not last me at all, so I upgraded to 512, and now I'm noticing that doesn't last me either, so I may have to do 1 terabyte, but at that point, it's like, I don't want to pay for the extra storage, and I do use an external SSD, so that does help out a lot, and I get to free up storage on my MacBook Air. So, you know, editing videos here on Final Cut Pro, just doing a lot of content work here proves that I think this is more than just, this shouldn't be labeled as, oh, it's, you know, to do the basics. This can do more than the basics. This can do a lot of great things. Now, if you want to get into gaming, that's a whole separate thing. Like, I don't do gaming on my MacBook, my M3. I probably won't be doing on my M4. If you want to see, like, I don't know, gaming content, that's going to be something to check out somewhere else. That's not going to be found in this video. But then again, like, I don't really know anyone that games on their MacBooks. That's surprising, but hopefully we'll get, you know, better updates with gaming in regards to having it on MacBooks in the future. But anyway, I just want to kind of wrap things up between, you know, the main differences here, and also then there's the same layout pretty much. Essentially everything else is the same. We got the headphone jack on the right hand side, MagSafe and Thunderbolt on the left hand side. I believe because of having support for external displays with the lid open, these are Thunderbolt 4 ports. So yeah, that's just something to note out there, but it didn't really kind of change the way. And I don't think I'll be using external displays for a while until I upgrade my desk setup and things like that. So, but it's nice to know that it's there. Now, I wanted to talk about the other chips. If I already said if you have an M3 like this one right here, there's no need to pick up an M4. Even if you have an M3 or M2, no need to pick one up. However, if you have M1, maybe it's time to start considering, unless you're content with it, then no need. Or if you have something older like an Intel, I had a 2017 MacBook Pro. It was like an Intel chip. I forgot what it was, the exact chip. And that was really bad. And that's when I made the jump to M2. And I was very, very happy with it. Leaps forward in performance. And it really kind of pushed my channel even further. So I was really happy about making that jump. But if you have something older than M1, honestly, I think this is going to be a really, really good upgrade. Now, I've been using M4 Mac Mini since its release in like October, November, and that has also been phenomenal. So I really like what Apple has done with M4, and they just keep on improving and improving. But yeah, that's really been it. Like I said, once I complete this video, I will be trading in my M3 MacBook Air and transitioning completely. While I did move everything over, like I'm just gonna focus now on M4 MacBook Air until M5 comes out, and then probably share my experience using that and comparing it to M4. But for the next year, it's going to be the M4 MacBook Air. And we're going to put this away because we're going to kind of retire that here on the channel, and we're going to just focus on M4 MacBook Air. So definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Definitely be sure to comment down below thoughts, opinions, experience, video ideas you'd like to see here on the channel. And we are on our way to 60,000 subscribers for the year of 2025. That is the goal here on MTG Productions. And also I'll be leaving links in the description down below to M4 MacBook Air, as well as my other products that I have. I have digital products in my latest wallpaper pack. It is called Color Blast, and I'll show you right here. This is just one I have on my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and they go a long way in helping out the channel, so definitely be sure to support. And yeah, that's been for me with the M4 MacBook Air versus the M3, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.